We're glad to see you all here today, and welcome to our January 20th meeting of the Álamos History Association. And as always, we begin our meetings with a welcome from our president in Oslo, Norway, Pam.
Okay, well, welcome to another program of the Álamos History Association. Today we will focus on music in Mexico with input from a talented musician and teacher, Ramón Alcantar. Music is such a big part of life in Mexico. Learning about it can only enhance our experience. So on to you, Errol and Ramón.
Oh, thank you very much, Pam. I do want to, before I officially turn it over to Ramón, I want to mention that next week's meeting will be Zoom only, and that's for the people here. With the festival going on and the possibilities, and also the hacienda is busy. We're going to be Zoom only next week, and so those of you that came, and we're so happy to have you next week, click into our Zoom part. And also just to mention that in January, we are collecting dues if you haven't paid your dues for the year, and you can give your 200 pesos for a whole year to Carolyn, and she'll take that, and then we'll get it to Joan. Okay, at this time, we have all enjoyed the music that Ramón and his group has provided for so many years. When I first came to Álamos, we came to the hacienda and we heard Ramón sing, and I went and I bought every CD that I could find that you had made, and we listened to them and we love them. So Ramón, thank you for speaking to us today. We are looking forward very much. So let's give a round of applause for Ramón.
Thank you. Good morning, first of all, to everyone showing up here, and thank you to all of you that are here in line with us. And, I really appreciate this moment, and it's an honor for me to speak about what I do in my life, my whole life here, and you know, to tell you a little bit of my experience. And of course, I have to apologize because I want to do it in English. My English is my second language and foreign language, and I want to stay a lot like this, but if you see that I need one of the words like this, and you want to help me, because you know, go ahead and help me, because it's not for me, but I just going to do it the way I know. It's trying to prepare something, but too many ideas came to me, and I just want to make it like the way I know everything that comes to me like this. First of all, the music start. I want to start to the beginning of everything that I learned, the knowledge, and the point, the way I see it, because you know you get a lot of information, but at the end you can make your own idea of everything what happened. You know, I've been writing a lot of books and also, you know, too many histories about how the music started. You know, so many people say like, man, when they start thinking or getting the reason of what they're doing like this, they knock stones and wood, and they try to make the sound of the birds and how the music starts, so many things like this. And my point, that sound is big part, beautiful sound is big part of the music, and also the rhythm is big part of the music. It can be music with the sound. You know, there's complements to make the music. You need the rhythm, you need the sound, and you need the harmony, but it's the way the complement to make music. And it said, you know, but how they can make the rhythm to start doing the part by half the time like this. We all have the music and our soul. We have it in our heart, we have it in our blood, because when our heart beats, it's making music, it's making a rhythm, because we're popping like that time by time at the same time. So if you pay attention and you repeat, you're gonna be finding like that. You having a rhythm, and then if you add a little bit of the rhythm, you add some beautiful sound, you start making music. If I make the rhythm like this and I start doing it, it's free music. It's the way that I believe that people used to do it in the past, you know. And there are so many stories, but I just want to start with a little bit of our local area, our region, like how it used to be before the Spanish came here, or the European people like this. There was like our natives here around, of course, to Mayos and Yaquis, and I just searching in some books, I found out that they were from Arizona, northern Arizona, to south of Sinaloa, all that area like this. They're used to walk like this. So sometimes, you know, they make friends around like this, and sometimes they fight for stuff that they didn't like, and I was interested about how they make the music here like this. So then I started realizing, well, we have one of the most beautiful treasures here in the whole, I think the whole America. We have the deer dancer. The deer dancer is exactly the idea of how they used to do the music and how it is. I pay attention in the deer dancer. So many people say that different histories. Who knows why they make the dance? You know, the Yaquis and Mayas have a special dance and music about the deer dancer. And I explain myself like this is the idea of when members of family like Ben go out hunting. That was one of the things that they want food first of all, right? And if they go hunting and they just hunting a deer, absolutely, and all the process when the deer they find them, the deer fought them, and they kill them, and all the process like this, and they come with the deer to the community, and the kids and the families wonder, you know, like, what are you doing to get this like this? So the way to explain, like, oh, there's the process of what they were doing in the campfire is that, and they, when the histories, they talk to the family, it represents what we're doing, and then they start doing it in the way of chanting and histories, probably too. That if somebody read a book, it's gonna be a nice history about what they, and all that for myself. And so many have a lot of. This is my idea because this way is cut never brought. You know, that's my idea that I get about a lot of information that I get all over here in our region like this. After that, you know, the Spanish came and for about the 15th, the 16th, the 14th, 17th century, when the European people came here, you know, they came here just to explore, to find new things. I don't think they don't have the necessity about like the music, but I'm sure there's people there that I was singing too, or they were making music. It's come with the people, with a person naturally. They were doing music too, and what I think, and also I always been thinking, but how was in Álamos the music? How was in Álamos? And then I realized that in that age, that was called the Virreinato here in Mexico, because Spanish had everything here, and they didn't allow people music. You know, they tell them what to do, and all was religious. That's why, and they used that kind of music to because they found the Indians here were smart, and they have music and they have rhythm like this, and we use it as getting together and conquer with them, and so to make them not wild anymore. You know, they were so they took him to the religion, the Catholic, through the music, and they taught him like most of the song that they have like this is like religious. So that was one of the way like this, and we don't have anything like true is of that. Well, and just everything after that, everything stopped, and because I'm just making my theory about it like this. So I don't think there's more until we find the real records about the music, even in Mexico, about Mexico. I was reading a book about Tomás Méndez. Tomás Méndez is one of the biggest writers in Mexico about music, and I just followed him a lot. One day we were in San Miguel de Allende with my wife around there, and I found one book, and that was very interesting for me because it was the history of the corridos in Mexico. That was history of the corridos, and I started reading the book. That was so interesting for me, and that was Tomás Méndez, and I found out after that he had a lot of books about music. And Tomás Méndez said, and that one of the first parts there, like the oldest music, the oldest Mexican, because we have a lot of Spanish music here, but the oldest Mexican song is the history. They have records. It's been brought in Arizona, and for me, it was like in Arizona. I stayed like it took all my attention, of course, when I wrote that, and I start searching because it was in Arizona. Why they go to that area where same area where I live, and then I followed it, and I found my way to get how the music was in Álamos. But everything started from when the we call it Porfiriato, when the 19th century thing like this, at the end of 19th century, that's with the records to now. Well, I mean, also no 18th century. It says 1850, something like this, is when the records we had of music in Mexico. When the music really Mexicans, of criollos, like the Mexico, they start getting the music into and make it to the towns, to Mexico. So there was a lot of people here in Álamos, wealthy people, and you know, and they were so conservative that they followed so much like straight to the Spain rules. They didn't want to change. They were following the Spain tradition always like this. So the music here was how we wrote in the book of Álamos de Sonora, the Corvalán, and the other book that I wrote is the Almadas, the Álamos. Those beautiful books taught me a lot about that, and how the life was. And I found out I'm always searching about what they say about music, what they say about music, and I just found out little part like this about the music was. And one of the paragraph there say like, and there was a man there doing the pasadillas and coplas, and there is totally a Spanish word. So I went and searched the Spanish word, what it means, and they were doing music. The music of pasadillas there means like people, men, when they were having fun, they used to play with verse, like one say one first, but we created and spontaneously there. And then when he finished, another one start doing like this. That's part of that they were doing like this. That's interesting because I hear this before in my old times with my uncles and stuff like this. They used to play like this too. So for me, that makes a little sense. And I said, you probably carrying that, and I didn't, And you just have to find the line with us about that because we don't have anything like this. And well, the music has been my inspiration my whole life. And well, I'm gonna keep a little bit after, which is I'm going to present for the people myself, so the people that we forgot that, the people that I don't know me or I am Ramón Alcantar. I born in Álamos, here in Álamos in 1974. And I'm my family, well, the music I get it from my family. They're all been here all time. I don't know, I lost the record about that. But my grandfather used to live in Hacienda de las Mercedes, where it's a sort of Álamos there. And everybody hear about the Hacienda de las Mercedes there. He used to live in that area. It's a big hacienda. And my other grandfather, he came from Sinaloa, I think. I believe that there was brothers and came and they make a big ranch in the sort of Álamos that is called El Potrero de Alcantar. And this is where the history of my family started. I don't know nothing back there. And when I was a child, was what I have my idea like this. My father used to, he played the guitar and sing very well always. And like Álamos was a quiet town, like very quiet and small town like this. And I remember on the middle of the night or so early like this, I hear people singing, he got hang out with friends like this and play the guitar. And right there I hear like him playing the guitar so far with many times with my uncle Mario, that they always sing together, beautiful harmony. I always have it in my friend, beautiful harmony. And the way my dad played the guitar there. And I remember that I would have in the middle of the night and just contemplate the way he was doing the music. And I think that I hear some beautiful sounds and I'm just wishing I can do that too, but I didn't have an instrument like this, but I make all the sounds in my brain. And I was a little kid, I didn't know that anything about that. Till I remember that I asked for one, Christmas, they bring us presents and stuff like this. And I totally asked for a guitar. That's what I want. And they brought me a small little guitar like this. And I started copying what he was doing with the guitar there. And I don't know where I was doing. I was playing the guitar. And I think that it's the way that got me the music through him like this. And after that, when I was, I remember this is very clear that I was playing the guitar one day with around my friends' kids like this. And there was an old man crossing to the street in my house where I lived. And he told me, "Are you really playing the guitar?" And I said, "Yes." "How old are you?" "5," I said. So I was 5 years old when I was playing the guitar already. So, and nobody, no teachers, anything like this. That's why I probably believe that people other and their things, other than this, so many people have music already when they're born, and that is amazing. And so all this interest came and started growing up. I remember one of the most beautiful things that I remember, and it's what I like to history too. I used to go every morning so early. I used to wake up and there was nothing in Álamos except to wake up early with the chant of the roosters there and everything like this. And I always go to my grandfather, and to have coffee. I was the first one with him there, and he was so curious always with me like this, and he knew that I play the guitar and I like to sing and everything like this, so he always tell me so many tales there about his life, and I always paid attention in the morning, having coffee a little. I was little, but there was nothing to do, just have coffee in the morning with him there. And so one day I have it, he told me about one song. He said, well, he said that his father taught him a song, really old song. He told, it's the way I learned too that at that time songs used to be the news, like when he wouldn't know anything that happened in southern Mexico, different areas of Mexico. It wasn't for the music, because there wasn't something that relates to something that happened in different areas like this. And he said, my dad used to sing this song and he liked it a lot. And I want for you to learn the song, he told me. My grandfather told me that. And I said, okay, I want to learn that. And he said, I want to write it for you. And we start looking for a notebook, something like this work, and we couldn't find. He didn't even have a pencil or pen. So he got one of the kernels of the, the hornilla that he have there, and the paper where he had the tortillas there. He brought it for me. I remember that exactly too, and I was just following what he said. So he started singing with me the song, so we can make it like this. And that song was something that happened in sort of Mexico. Is when that song tell us in the 1898 when the flood was or happened in Leon, and I still remember that song so clear. So I want to do it for you in the guitar. And that's totally old song, and I searched Google it and everything like this, and I never could find the song. So, but I found some stuff about that flood in Leon. Sometimes said in Leon, Guanajuato, and sometimes Nuevo Leon, and but have different dates. So I cannot find like this. I just gonna do what my grandfather told me. This is what I have for. And I don't think he was doing invention at that time, like that. We didn't have any computers or anything like this. So this is the song, the corrido that he taught me. Señores, tengan presente y escuchen con atención. Año del 98, 18 de enero, se hundió Nuevo León. Por el lado del presente fue por donde el agua entró y de la cruz de cantera, rastro quedó. Me fui a la cruz de cantera a sufrir sustos y penas, en ver los hijos de Dios todos sepultados entre las arenas. Hombres ricos, dinerosos, dueños de ricos tesoros, hoy se hallan desamparados, recorriendo calles, pidiendo socorro. Uno que tenía una novia, a los 3 días la halló, debajo de unas paredes donde existía, y ahí la sacó. Well, I don't want to sing the whole time the song, you know. There's more little girls like this, but I'm just taking all the time like this. And I just want to show you this. I hardly sing that song, you know, this one of the times that I sing this song for like 20 years, I think. You know, nobody requests the song except my grandpa, so it's I always have it as a good memory. And then for the other side of my family, there's Alcantar. I was talking about my grandfather for that, my Hurtado last name for the one family. And the other side, the Alcantars, they're all my uncles have music. They sing so beautiful. Everybody knows it. I think too many people here knows my tío Rosario, my tío Martin. They've always been part of the music in Álamos too. So they taught me a lot of songs and so beautiful. And I feel and I believe that part of the music that I'm talking, that's the music that was in the community, in the you know, down with the town, because here in the center, Álamos, there was still a lot of wealthy people, and they have a different music. They have a different kind of music because they have a already. I think that almost every house have a piano. They have classes of music. The families, you know, they all had the most popular thing like that was the violins and the laúd. That wasn't a guitar at that time. And they create music. They follow music. They was reading music actually because they have a school for a long time. Schools. They were the one of the most important people in literature and music here. That is Mrs. Almada, Margarita Almada, and they have and the Marcos. They have a house with pianos. Everyone. So what they used to play here mostly, that was the valses, mazurkas, all this. There's a kind of same music, you know. They use that music to dance so nice like this, like a valse. That was the most important like this. But there was a lot of influence of the Spaniards too, because they have that song Álamos. That's the most popular right now. Is that as they said, Margarita Almada wrote it. There's not either you know, evidence of she wrote it or no. That's what the people think because she was a musician, she was a teacher, you know, and what they said that she wrote. But that song have a lot of influence of the Spanish, you know, had the paso doble. Paso doble came from Paso doble is one kind of music that is from originally from France. The paso doble is must mean that they make it for soldier, you know, with the armies there. There was counting the rhythm like this, 1, 2, 3, like this counting. Then it split the whole Europe like this, but Spanish make it a special paso doble because they keep it more like this. So after that, everyone thought that was from Spain, paso doble, like you know, when you dance like this. But that influenced someone, you know, I think people that used to travel a lot to Spain, people from Álamos, they're real wealthy, and they always brought the music and everything that brand new. Álamos was so important that everything that happened in the capital there, that was almost right away here too. They were like there wasn't a big time of difference with when they learned sample song, a new song like this, they brought it to Álamos too, and they knew everything about what is happening in the world. That was amazing here. That was beautiful for that, and so and other thing that I believe so that influenced what I was thinking about the Álamos song, and totally all the influence of the song. This is the paso doble. So the people that I know, you know, don't know that I'm talking about the rhythm paso doble. Paso doble is very popular in Spain, but here we have it like this, and we have it with the or song like it's almost our hymn, you know, like Álamos is when I call the paso doble from Spain. And the song of Álamos, of course, if you didn't hear the song is hay un rincón en Sonora, bello jardín de esperanza, rico joyel de añoranzas, donde hablenco el suelo español. Álamos tierra bendita, la mano la mexicana, que nos habla de amores, el día mañana, que nos habla de todo. Y de tardes de sol. Okay, this is the idea. That is that idea a little bit is because so you can hear the paso doble, that kind of music like this. Totally is a Spanish influence. Here we go. After that, the music in Mexico came with the Porfiriato, and there was a spread all over all over America, all the music that Europeans brought to here to America, and normally all the locals adapt the music at the way they was living. Of course, for example, we don't have the huapangos here. The huapangos is just in the south of Mexico. What we have here are influence of the local people start being mostly the waltz, and the polka. The polka was like so famous here, and the polka have the same, in my opinion, have the same rhythm of the corridos right now here. It's like so I related so much that the music it comes for that kind of music, the polka or music, and actually have a lot of sense because you know at this time polka is the rhythm that is from the Polonian powers. I don't know what is that, and in Czechoslovakia, the Czech, Slovakia, whatever like this. There's the kind of music that from there, and the rhythm is exactly like our corridos here, and of course, I think in the end of the 18th, a lot of people came to Texas, all that area of the United States, all the Europeans. I think the history you all know, they brought all that kind of people like this to the border to Mexico. So the mix of the Mexicans with them, they create the music. They used to go together and hang out, and with the time, they just made one culture of music, and that like because I remember all my uncles there. They used to go to have fun, like they used to be the big recorder, like you could put battery here and hear music. All they hear that was pulses, and they hear all the polkas. That was all they have here. They not even listen to many corridos. I don't think so. They used to like it so many the other that style of music here in Álamos. That's what I believe. So it's what I relate our music, of course, right now that we have here. It came for the polkas. Probably believe it, and then the music started just mixing because the world every time is like smaller when the radio came. Before, when I was talking, the people that have pianos here and kids, they used to go to learn music and everything like this because it's what the only way they have music in their houses was if somebody plays, because there wasn't any radios or anything like this. So that was important for them to have one member of the family to play the piano or play the guitar and sing whatever like this. Now these days it's like, you know, you can just have an iPod or whatever, listen to music so easy, but in the old times wasn't like this. Music has been growing a lot of different kinds of music, and if you see, we didn't have it said in the books a lot that the influence of the Latin music is the influence of the Europeans and Africans and the native. They mix and they make their own music there. There's a lot of style. That's why the salsa, the cumbias, all that. But we didn't have the connection with the African music so much. That was just the natives and the Europeans. That's why we create our music here. Mostly there's the banda and corridos like this, because it's together with that, and we didn't have so much rhythm, beautiful rhythm like Cuba, like Puerto Rico, like this, you know. But we like it a lot. So it was so beautiful music like this, and so after that, when I was my growing up like this, a little bit of I think everyone will know the music from there that, like, you know, grow up in this area. I'm not gonna go to the core music that's like this. So just to end up, it's a little bit the way I live the music as a kid, everything like this. So I remember one day I was walking, I was 13 years old, and I went to the museum because there was a group of kids in Álamos that was singing there, and they have a rondalla, they call it a museum. Museum always been the, you know, where we go to learn, because we didn't have music school or nobody to teach you too. I remember I have a hard time finding somebody to teach me how to play the guitar. My dad plays so beautiful, but yeah, just one level, 6 songs, and that's it. And I was just want to explore more, and I didn't have anyone to where to get it. So I went to the museum, and I found out the Estudiantinas, where I just grew up right there. That was a beautiful thing that they brought to Álamos, to Mexico, to Álamos, I mean, mostly. And it's where I learned how to play. I found a lot of friends that play guitar there. We have so much fun. I have a lot of beautiful experience there in Argentina. Another day we can talk about my experience there. I just grew up totally there. But also, I get my limit there. You know, I absorb everything they have, and I want more to totally, you know. So that's why that was my decision to go to Hermosillo to learn. So I get in the school there for classical guitar, and I found my friends there. I learned how to play classical guitar, and then now I forget how to play classical guitar. You know, because you have to be there. A teacher always telling me there, like you have to be at least 8 hours a day playing if you want to do concert. And I said, oh, no way. So, but I did it for I think 1 year. I was doing that, following his rules and do concert, whatever there. Like he tell me, but after that, I said, that's too much, you know. But helped me a lot with the technique and stuff like this. So I always appreciate those moments too. And now, after that, you know, I enjoy my group, Los Hacendados, that I just love them so much because we separate of the Estudiantina, the guys that I, you know, that have a little more talent like this. We were like, let's get them like this, let's make something different, not just playing like this. So we start doing something different, and we all together create something like the music that we like to, you know. This always happened, the talent wants to control everything like this, and we did that, and that was another part of my life, this growth, that's all the way. After that, you know, my life right now is like something that I always love to do too, that is teaching music mostly. I love to see how kids get ahead of me real fast, and I love them when I see them playing in different areas, and it's just making me proud seeing them grow up on music. And I think that as most that I have, we can go and questions and different things that you guys want. I can go into yes. So
well, first,
thank you.
Thank you. Those of you here or on Zoom, whatever question you have for Ramon, please ask it and he'll answer.
I have a question.
Yes.
Ramon, what do you know about the Mayan music, pre-Hispanic music? Is there much known historically in terms of the type of music, the instruments that existed before about 1500?
Yeah. Yes. I was talking what I know that the local native here that was the Mayos. Los Mayos and the most that we have right now. I was explaining that we have the biggest treasure here in Sonora, that is La Danza del Venado, the deer dancer. It's a big treasure that we have, and that represents everything. The instrument they play is how they used to do it.
What were the instruments?
Instruments, they put a bully, we call them here as one. They're all of the nature, you know. They put the bully and the water that represent. I think that they were playing it's like a calabaza. They cut it in half when it's dry like this. They cut it in half and they put it in the water, and they knock it, and have a special song like this, and they make songs like a with the we call them the widows. That's all name of this thing like this. And the most popular, the mostly that they use here, like they like it to make the song is Tenavaris. Tenavaris, there's a little where the nest of the sun worm, whatever like this, that you find in the here in the forest, wild like this, and you get them. There's little like this, and when you grab one, and doesn't sound too much like this, but they make it get on a bunch like this and put it in a line, and they put it like that. They put it in the pits here like this. And when you walk, you make sound like this. That's mostly how they make the music, and that was rhythm. What they was doing with the and the other part, the harmony, they make it with the voice like. Oh, maso serwa, puro bambo ye, puro bambo ye, toba que te puse. You can read it like this. There's a kind of music that they have, and there's the instruments too. It's well, I believe in this totally makes sense because it's what we have here in our forest, those kind of instruments that they can make other way any kind of wood like this, and making the noises repeating what the animals, what you others say, you know, the deer fancy. It's mostly what we have here, the history before the European came here for a lot of area.
Okay, thank you. Are there other questions? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we want you to sing more, but I want you to know how much I know I appreciate the music of the 1950s, 1940s, the 20th century in Mexico, like earlier, La Negra Noche and Granada. And
Beautiful songs.
they're beautiful.
Yeah.
I think the most beautiful music, very romantic, came from Mexico.
Yes.
At this time.
Those kind of music, they start in the 1920, from 1920 to now.
Yeah.
There was we call them la época de oro, época de gold, age,
The golden age.
the golden age of the music and the movies too in Mexico. That happened. That was you know, that is when the people here that was like spreading like with the wings and writing music everywhere like this, and a lot of beautiful music. But I would say the same way I feel they have the touch of Europeans like this. One of the biggest writers that we have is Agustin Lara. And Agustin Lara, the one that brought Granada and all this. And they have family or they live part of their life in Spain too. Like this, he wrote the popular song Madrid. You know, Madrid, Spain have a song, the most popular song for Madrid there, that was written for Agustin Lara, that is Mexican. You know, and now you go to Madrid and everybody plays Madrid, 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 pedazo de la España en que nací. And I was writing for a Mexican guy that born here in Yucatan. So, and he wrote Granada too. Granada, he never been in Granada, and he imagined like that was a town, Granada like this, and he, during his imagination, Granada, and this is the way he wrote that song. It's, it was a beautiful story about them too. And La Negra Noche and other very popular songs that make it popular. Jorge Negrete was Pedro Infante. they have so many beautiful songs.
Yeah, please, please.
Of course. So any request of this kind?
Well, I want La Negra Noche.
Okay. La Negra Noche. I used to sing that song with my dad, you know, with that harmony, and just I remember that every time we sang this song together, I almost cried. That was so beautiful. Yeah, harmony. Okay, La Negra Noche is how you translate La Negra Noche?
The Black Night,
Black.
the Dark Night.
Dark.
Dark.
Dark Night. Okay, this is gonna be the song that I like. La noche prendió su manto, surgió la niebla, murió la luz y en las tinieblas de mi alma triste, como una estrella brotaste tú. Ven e ilumina la herida senda por donde vagas, loca ilusión. Dame tan solo una esperanza que mortifique mi corazón. Cuando en las noches nace el rocío y en los jardines nace una flor. Así en mi alma, mi adorada, nació tu amor. Ya veo que asomas la ventana, rostro de ángel encantador. Siento la dicha dentro de mi alma, no hay tinieblas, ya no hay tinieblas. Ya Normally, I don't sing in the morning like this, my voice, you know, when you wake up. It's different, but
It's perfect.
thank
Perfect.
you.
Oh.
Like it.
Are there more questions for Ramon?
Question or request? I can be
Request,
here.
request, anything.
Okay. Yes. And no, not really. Oh yes, they used to have it, but there's nothing about this region here. There's nothing. Of course, you know, from when the people like 1698, wherever like this, start coming to this area, to the 1860, the music was controlled by the king of Spain, you know, And so we, the people here wasn't allowed to do music or anything. That was all about Catholic is what they want. They should bring their music, and they were playing just what they wanted. So that's why I understand there's nothing about Mexican music. All this time, all this years, the centuries, like there was like 2 centuries, like there wasn't, we didn't call like nothing from Mexico. There was all music brought from there. And I think everything, that's why there just was taking stuff.
Well, in villages, did people make their own instruments? Or did they have, how did people get guitars that were in a small village 100 years ago?
100 years ago, yes. I believe my grandfather used to tell me, like, my grandfather was born in the 1970, like this. So he lived his life, John's life that was to the revolution, like this, But he always liked to tell me stories about his father, how they lived, and he said that they used to go to the dances, big dances like this, and there was just one guitar player making everybody dance and the party like this, and he started laughing because he said, and he was repeating the same song for a long time. So, and he laughed at that, that wasn't too much to get like this. For all this time playing like this, they have to repeat the same song and start dancing and whatever like this. So but he mentioned, they have a guitar. So I think they have a guitar. And for the part of the other family, my uncles, they always tell me like, I have a relate of my grandfather's brother. He used to make the guitar. He made his own guitar, and they told me that. So I was like, yes, and they get also they used to play with a big tina, whatever like this that they make like this, and they put a string all over like this, and they played and they stranged it with like this, and they used to play with that too. People find instruments. Well, when you want to do music, you find a way how to make stuff. I think like this. That's the way they used to do it. But also, one day I have the totally interest of writing all that, and of course I was having a little camera and recording people like this, and that camera was cold, and I lost everything that I had there, and that was sad, and I just take everything that I have there for me, like I'm not gonna do anything else anymore like this, but I'm totally interested in game. Thank you for inviting like this. So I was talking on one of those videos, one of the men, because my uncle told me, oh, that family used to have a little orchestra in Álamos, and that was the Don Martin Rosas. He used to live in the Colorado there, and their family, there was a musician of Álamos. They have a violins, and they have the cello and everything like this, and they have a lot of parties here in Álamos. And that time, like this, they had a band. So I went with him, curious, and find out like how the family did the music here and how that. And he told me, oh yes, we play. My brothers used to play more than me. He told me what I remember. He told me when I was a kid, we ordered from Mexico City a violin, and we all went to Navajoa to the train station to pick up that violin. He said, like, the whole family is so excited for that. That was a beautiful story that he told me about the music, and the brother learned how to play the violin, and he made with somebody that played the piano here like this, and they started making it, and they created an orchestra in Álamos, and there was the they play in all the parties and people here, like, like the musicians here. That was one of the history that I get, and I just felt sad that I lose it. But I have it in my brain still.
Okay, our time is pretty much up. If there is one last brief question, we'll take it. And otherwise, we'll thank Ramon for this wonderful presentation. Do I hear a question? If not, thank you again, Ramon. And for all of those. Can you end with Granada?
Okay.
Okay. This will be our closing here, Granada.
Yes. Okay. That song for me is very special too. I used to sing that song with a person that I met here in Álamos, and I always carry with me. And that was Yaela. We used to sing that song together too, and I like it a lot. I always. Granada, tierra soñada por mí. Mi cantar se vuelve gitano cuando es para ti. Mi cantar hecho de fantasía, mi cantar flor de melancolía, que yo te vengo a dar. Granada, tierra tan lenta, tardes de tu que conservaré de los ojos moros de sueño rebelde y gitana, cierta de flores. Granada, mano las cantadas en coplas preciosas. No tengo otra cosa que darte que el Ramón de rosas de suave fragancia que le dieran marejo a la Virgen morena. Granada, tu tierra está llena de lindas mujeres de sangre y de sol.
Tune in next week for our Zoom only presentation.